Maxx Sterling. Welcome to LARP Mix. So, I made some videos on AI and ChatGPT, and a lot of people seem to not care for them for some reason. They don't like artificial intelligence in a creative space. I get it. As artists, you're threatened. This is derivative of other work that is, largely by and far stolen or something where you signed agreements, you didn't read the fine print, and they used, your stuff to train it. And I completely understand that as a published author, as someone who is in a creative space, as someone who creates for YouTube, I totally get it. This stuff is sure enough replacing us. It steals our ideas, it steals our style, and it's really not cool. That being said, however, though, I will not deny the fact that this is a powerful tool. And I believe, depending on how you use it, it can still be quite helpful and something that can save you a lot of time, especially when it comes to tabletop role playing. Now, obviously, I am always an advocate of coming up with your own ideas, writing down your own stuff, but I run games almost every single day, and I have role played on almost a daily basis for 30 years consecutively. I know that that is not the norm. Most people do not get to play that much in their lives, and I'll tell you what, it has been a phenomenal journey, and tabletop role playing, aside from LARP, is probably one of my absolutely largest hobbies, and I love it. I totally love it. Um, I only play a handful of games, but I'll tell you what, after that many years of playing and running, I feel like I've seen most of it, and I'm not going to lie, there are times when you do get burnt out. So if you play a lot of games, or if your group likes to change things on the fly and sort of leave you hanging, and you're trying to backpedal and come up with ideas, something like this can be immensely powerful to not derail your game. So I want to show you today and the controversial way to use this, which is to have it actually create a plot line for you. So I'm going to use my favorite game, which is Shadowrun, and I'm going to use 3rd edition rules because you can use any edition. I'm just going to use 3rd edition as the example. But really the power of this is just the power of your prompting ability and how much you type in. So let's go ahead and we're just going to jump right into it here. So I'm going to say create a 3rd edition Shadowrun plotline suitable for characters with, we're going to say, 50 karma. So these are characters that I've already played a few times. I'm going to write it should include magical aspects, a puzzle, some matrix activity, and have full stats and gear for NPCs. Should take place in Seattle. We'll just stick with good old Seattle. And include karma rewards broken down. All right, so I feel like this is pretty generic. I'm trying to, throw in here so that we have, magical aspects, some matrix stuff, puzzle if your group likes that. Let's have a car chase also. We'll do a vehicle chase scene. How's that? So we have something for the riggers to do also. So here we go. The Emerald Conundrum. Bustling city of Seattle, a mysterious artifact known as the Emerald Conundrum has surfaced, promising immense power to whoever deciphers its secrets. We're hired by shadowy fixer Mr. Johnson, who represents a powerful corporation interested in acquiring that artifact. Okay, cool. Rival corporation, notorious street gang, and a secretive magical cabal are also vying for the Emerald Conundrum. Cool. Here's the main objectives. It breaks it down. And let's just see, what this threw together for us here. Here's the job offer. Dimly lit back room at Underworld 93 Club. There's Mr. Johnson and all his stats. Here's the security guards are with him, all their stats. Finding the artifact, Seattle Underground. Got ghouls, security systems. Says here there's a puzzle, a runic puzzle. You have to put stones in a specific order to achieve that. You got the stats for the ghouls. Here's the information for the matrix here. The stats for the ice. Here's the high-speed chase. We got modified GMC Bulldogs. Final Showdown. Abandoned Warehouse Redmond Barons. Street Gang members. Magical Cabal members. The Rival Corporation Strike Team. So you'll be fighting or negotiating with a lot of people when you get to that point. And the karma rewards for what you do, retrieving it's 5, solving the puzzles 4, doing the matrix portion of it's 5, escaping the pursuits 3, defeating the rival faction 6, and role playing is GM's discretion. Here's the artifact, grants a +2 bonus to all spell casting, so it must be a so it's some sort of focus or something. You could say it is. Wow, Mr. Johnson tried in. There's a twist. Interesting. So it came up with all of that. Now, I will say that some of this, follows a lot of tropes and stuff. So what we can do now is we can fine tune this. You say, oh, this is very derivative. This is pretty generic. So let's go ahead and let's try to fine tune this. All right. So first off, can you create the actual puzzle that needs solved? Also, can you elaborate on all of the points? So we want this to be more elaborate. And can you change this to not follow tropes? How about not have a stolen artifact? Let's get rid of that. And make it more, say, cloak and dagger and political. Let's see. Also include how much the job pays. And include more creatures. How about that? So we're going to switch this up a little bit. So now it's cloak and dagger in the Emerald City. So now you have a councilwoman who is making moves to pass a controversial bill that would severely restrict corporate espionage activities. Several powerful factions see this as a threat to their operations, are willing to go to great lengths to stop her. You're hired by an unknown entity to prevent the bill from passing without directly harming Green, forcing them into a web of deceit, politics, and shadowy dealings. So now we're dealing with something completely different. This isn't a snatch and grab type of thing. This is something totally different now. So now you're meeting at an upscale restaurant in downtown Seattle. Your contact is a corporate liaison, bodyguards, so that's similar. Payment 150,000 new yen, additional 50,000 if they can assure the evidence is irrefutable. So now we can gather information. It's broken down a little bit more here. You got high-end surveillance, biometric sensors. You have to attend a high society party to gather intelligence. So you're going to have to sneak into that. We still have the Matrix heist because that was part of the original prompt that we put in. The meeting. Here's the puzzle. Now the puzzle is spelled out. It's a hidden safe house in Redmond Barrens. So here we go. Here's the details of the puzzle. Here's a riddle. And you gotta align the runes in order. There's obviously still a magical aspect to this as well. Now we have spirits and elementals. There's still a corporate strike team. Here's your karma reward breakdown and, this. Now what you can do with this is you can then continue to keep fine-tuning this if you want to on here. You could just take the original option, or you could print this out and then you can scratch out stuff, change stuff however you want, change the names, change the locations, whatever you want to do here. However, you can use this sort of as either a broad outline, a jumping off point, or you can sit here and play with this for half an hour and really fine tune it and drill it down. You're playing something newer. Okay, can you make this 5th edition? Say you're not playing 3rd edition, you bought all the 5th edition books, so that's what you have. Now it's just going to run it through and it's going to make it for 5th edition. So, by and large, most of the stuff is going to all be the same. However, the stats and everything are now going to follow, and the gear is now all going to follow, for 5th edition rules instead. So no matter what edition you're playing, you can do this. You can change editions, around whatever you want to do. If you need stats for stuff, you can do that. If you want to have it, design something for you. So let's say the artifact from the first one. Let's see. Go back to the first prompt. Change the artifact to a prototype cyberware chip or something like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a reference back to the very first prompt, but instead of it being that artifact, it's now going to be a cyberware chip. So we're going to go ahead and do that here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop this where it's at, and then we're going to start this. So it's still the Emerald Conundrum. But now instead of stealing an artifact, we're acquiring a prototype cyberware chip, and this is going to be, pretty much the same thing, just now it's a chip instead of the artifact. And you can see how it's typing everything out. Basically, everything else for the most part stays the same. It's just now it's a computer chip instead of an artifact if your folks aren't into the magical aspect of things as much and you would rather have it be something more corporate. So it's really, just this easy to flip the stuff around and make sure that everything, jives and works together. And go from there. So what we could do further now is all it says is it's a prototype cyberware chip. Yes. Sorry, I scrolled too far. A prototype cyberware chip known as the Emerald Conundrum. So they kept the name the same. So what you could then do after this is, go ahead and, like I said, change whatever you want to change, update it, do whatever you want to do. But, this is pretty much how powerful this is. So if this is something you would find useful, I would suggest you check it out sometime. If it's not for you, it's not for you. That's fine. But if it is something that's helpful to you, I hope that you enjoyed the video, and please consider subscribing to my channel. Please like the video, hit the bell icon if you'd like to be notified when I post new content, and of course, as always, adventure on.